people move to Iowa and then they regret moving to Iowa. I mean, imagine upending your entire life, moving across the country, dropping into someplace that's drastically different than your current home, and not having done enough research.
Boy. Ooh, bravo!
That, my friends, is why I am making this video, to help you do your research about Iowa. These are the top 5 reasons why some folks regret moving to Iowa. Now, a little disclaimer, depending upon the way you tick, your mileage may vary and you might actually view these as positive attributes. Number 1, the transportation situation or lack thereof it. If you're coming from a big metro, you may be used to public transportation options to get you from here to there. Yeah, not so much here in Iowa. The best you're gonna get are some public buses, and that is actually not even an option in a lot of spots. There are no public subways, there are no trams, there are no people moving trains. If you live in Iowa, chances are you're gonna find yourself to be pretty car dependent. Every once in a while, I meet a hardy soul who is determined to live a completely pedestrian or bicycle-centric lifestyle, and they are usually about 23 years old, full of energy and lots of ideals. I'm not saying it's impossible to not have a car, but it's not super practical. Also falling under the category of transportation are the airports. The only international airport here in Iowa is located in Des Moines, which is in the middle of the state. So if you live somewhere else in Iowa, you may have to drive to Des Moines, or you're gonna leave the state to a surrounding international airport like Chicago or something. Or alternatively, you just accept the fact you're gonna pay a little bit more money and leave from a regional airport. Now, I do have to tell you, I think you will love how easy it is to navigate the quiet regional airports if you give them a chance. Parking's a breeze, security lines are super short, and you can get to your gate in just a few minutes. I've actually become completely spoiled by the Cedar Rapids airport, and I really don't like it when I have to go to a big airport anymore. The next big regret people have about moving to Iowa is the weather. I know I talk about weather all the time on this channel, but that's because our weather here in Iowa is kind of wild. We swing to the extremes. We've got hot, and we've got cold, and we'll sprinkle some hail and throw in an occasional tornado. And the wind, oh my gosh, it's so windy here almost all the time. Let's not forget to talk about the overcast skies in the winter. If you're the kind of person who craves some sunshine, you might be in for a tough time. December and January are normally the cloudiest months around here. 49 to 52% of those days in those months are cloudy, which comes out to like, what, 25 days a month with overcast skies? When the ground is bleak and the sky is bleak, ugh, that can just make you feel bleak too. Number 3, the politics. All right, let's just get this over with. I know I'm poking a hornet's nest here by even mentioning politics. People bring it up all the time in my comments section. So here we go. Let's just lay it out. Iowa used to be known as a swing state, but in the last several years, that has changed drastically. At the state level, Iowa's politics are very conservative.
Now, 1 year into his presidency, and instead of moving America forward, it feels like President Biden and his party have sent us back in time.
So if you are liberal, you will probably find the current political trajectory to be alarming. However, the political vibes in this state feel disjointed. In general, Iowa's smaller towns and more rural areas lean pretty red, while Iowa's larger towns, more urban centers are liberal. Iowa City and Cedar Rapids are kind of enclaves of progressives.
God made us all in his image, and we can be whoever we want. We can be the mayor of Iowa City. We can be the president of the United States.
I feel like Iowa is reflective of what's been happening nationally, where each side has swung to their respective extremes. People are entrenched in their echo chambers, and we're all just yelling at each other. Number 4, shh, it's too quiet. People move to Iowa from large metros, sometimes thinking they just want that slower, more relaxed pace of life, But then they get here and reality sets in and it's too quiet. Like there's nothing going on. They think there's nothing to do. Activities that they used to enjoy, like major league sporting events, big concerts, headlining shows, non-stop nightlife. Well, those things are not really on the menu here. If you want to paint the town red, you might have to travel for the weekend and head off to Chicago or Minneapolis, maybe Vegas. Iowa doesn't really have those big cities. Des Moines, Iowa's capital, is the largest city, coming in at about 730,000 people for the whole metro. It is currently the fastest growing city of its size in the Midwest, but it's still not on par with Chicago, Minneapolis, St. Louis, or Kansas City. Other population centers in Iowa are Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, the Quad Cities, and Sioux City, but none of them top 300,000. If someone's looking for a real urban lifestyle, it's going to be important to realize that the scale of what they're used to versus what is actually available here, two very different things. All right, I'm heading into dangerous territory with this one, and I know you're going to tell me all about it. The food. Okay, this is subjective, but if you're a fan of a lot of international cuisines, you might be pressed to find what you're craving here in Iowa. I'm not saying that food in Iowa is bad, but it really leans towards hearty, home-style things, probably a lot more meat and fried stuff than your doctor would prefer you eat. Iowa is one of the least diverse states in the nation, with a population that's about 85% white. And if the stereotype about white people's cooking is correct, well, you're just not going to find those really spicy, adventuresome things here. You might be disappointed with your restaurant options. So would these things prevent you from buying a home in Iowa? If not, you should probably check out some of the videos on my playlist all about Iowa, so you know you're doing your research on the state. I'll see you over on the next video. If you want to talk to me about real estate, I would love to hear from you. You can find all my contact information down there in the description box of this video. Hey, it's been fun, and I'll catch you later.